Well, hello there. It's August 21st. I was out here picking a few figs, and I noticed that from those excessive rains I've mentioned in the last couple of videos, there were a few that were still not real tasty. The taste wasn't intense, but some were. And that's to be expected after heavy rains. It's nice and dry now. Beautiful weather. Gosh, I don't think that it could be any better than this. It's about 76 degrees, maybe 74. August the 21st. Beautiful. Yesterday was beautiful like this too, and the nights are cold. I've been coming out at nights and sitting outside. Tonight I think I'll light a fire. I do that occasionally, especially when the weather's like this. And we haven't had any mosquitoes or anything to bother us. So I was looking around here and going over the figs in the back orchard behind the sheds and gobbling up some figs. And I remembered that in the last couple of videos in one of the videos I mentioned Hollier. Some say Hollier. And I like the Hollier, and I mentioned that I had recommended it in previous years and grew it in pots and in the ground. And I mentioned that I have this one that's surrounded, if you see it in there, I hope you can. It's surrounded by other cultivars which are in my trial garden. And I said that I was going to pull it out and get cuttings because I was thoroughly convinced that it was a fantastic addition to my collection of in-ground figs. And I've been eating quite a few of these. You can see where I've been eating them and popping them off the vine in there, if you can see. And there's quite a few large branches back here. And I just picked two more over here. Here's one that's almost ready. I hope you can see it. Holy A. And I ate two more just a little while ago. And I was thinking, I better go get the phone. And maybe I should video this because I missed it the other day. And I've been eating them, one here, two there. Well, I noticed that there are a couple really ripe ones right there too. You see them? They look beautiful. So now I'm going to see if I can get into this net. And, uh-oh. Hey, where did you come from? Hey, where did you come from? Mom must have left you out. I got this net around my boot. Hey, where you going? Where you going? Oh, here she comes. Okay, as long as the dog is being watched. What are you up to? Come on back. I'm filming the Hollier. Maybe you can. I have to get inside this net. Maybe you can hold the camera, the phone for. Well, this net is a little difficult to get into.
What is it?
It's pretty heavy net. If you could just hold that for a second.
Over here.
Come on, Pops.
Over here. Over here.
Come on, Poppy.
Come on, let's go.
This way.
Let's go over here.
Well, I'll get in there.
She went out. She went out without. She just ran.
Oh,
out
she
of
ran
the way.
under the. She ran under the door.
No, you can't get in there.
She ran through the door behind you.
Yeah.
Here, if you could just.
And then she must have heard you talking and ran out here.
Oh. Pop, what'd you do that for? Huh? He's looking for a fig to eat too.
No, you can't go in there. What are we trying to do?
I'm trying to get these Hollier back here because they're perfectly ripe. You see them?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get them. There's one, and there is another. I got him. Oh, wow. These are so. Do you want to taste this? Deb?
Not right now. No. Move away from
because
that.
it's not washed, right?
Wait a minute. Let's go.
Hey, I'll tell you what. These are. I'll tell you what. I am really,
Move away from that.
especially when and considering all the rain that we've had, the flavor is still completely concentrated and rich.
Yeah, with all that rain, everything's waterlogged.
Yeah. You want to taste half?
Not right now.
Are you sure? I just want your opinion too.
No,
Honest opinion. Just take a little bite.
No, I don't want any right now.
Not washed, right?
Yeah.
Well, all I can say I wanted them to get your reaction because I have been so impressed with these in previous years, but this year too. But with all this rain, look how beautiful that fig is. I hope it's coming up on the camera. I can't see.
Yeah, it looks ripe.
Oh, it's beautiful, and so is that one too. That one's just perfectly ripe. I'm gonna open that one. Popsy, what you doing?
Okay, she's got to go back in now.
You're giving your mommy fits here. Relax. It's okay.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take her in because I have to go. I have to go now.
Okay.
Okay. Say bye-bye.
All right, so that's it? All right, bye.
There you go. Uh-oh, you're getting all tangled.
She get
Oh
caught.
my gosh.
All right, and then I noticed also, and you sure you don't want to,
There you go.
second thoughts, Deb, you sure you don't want a little taste of this?
Do you have another one that I could take in the house?
No, I wanted it for the film. Okay. Here we go. You don't want just a little taste? Just an honest, objective.
No, I don't want to taste it right now.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to taste it. I am so impressed with this.
Yeah, especially after all this rain.
Deb, I'm going to take these cuttings. I'm going to make a lot of these trees. I know you'll be happy to learn about.
More trees.
Yeah.
No more trees. You got to take one out to replace it with. So whatever's not good.
Is that the new rule?
Yeah.
Well, I've still got some room here out in the open.
We're running out of room here.
Deb, I swear.
That one I can take in and wash.
You know what? That doesn't embellish my attempts here to provide my audience with accurate information about how this fig variety tastes. And they might think that maybe I'm not being objective, or maybe I'm too subjective.
No, you're a
I
good
just
judge.
want to, okay, I
You're a
can't
good
convince
judge
you.
of the figs.
All right, well, I'll tell you
I
what.
can give you an update later.
Here, I'm going to give you this precious gift.
Is there any more?
Right now, I just ate 2 of them. And so I'm getting 2 or 3 for a day.
Mm-hmm.
So take that one and you can wash it. But wait until, I want to be there. I want to see what you say.
Oh, okay.
For real.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you, I'm impressed with that. Okay, anyway, guess what I noticed? I noticed that over here, I told a story once about the Brunswick and how I had buried it once in a pot and didn't know it because I was going away on vacation or something. There was a big storm coming. So I buried a bunch of them in the pots, but I forgot to dig this one up.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had Brunswick for it. This one goes back. This is my uncle's Brunswick. This Brunswick goes back all the way to Uncle Nick, my great Uncle Nick, at the rental property that we still have. And the tree's still there that I bought some 38 years ago or something. 35 or 8 years. I don't know how long it's been. But I've had cuttings and I put it in different locations. I had it over at another location in this town. Remember the big one I had out there? And then my dad had it. And he loved the thick skin nature. But I'll tell you, when it comes to thick skin, I'm going to show you over here. I just picked a few more LSU Tiger.
I don't like the thick skin though.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know. But some people don't.
Yeah.
But I love it. I like a
it.
variety of things,
Yeah.
you know. I get bored. But my father used to just cherish. And here we have a couple ripe ones.
I don't know if they're ripe.
Some Brunswick getting ripe. Here's one that's nice and ripe enough. Let me pick this thing. Wow. There. That's a Brunswick. My father
might
used
be
to
one of
love the
those
thick
ones.
skin, but I can tell you one thing: LSU Tiger has a beat. The skin, and it protected them from the rain. I haven't gotten any spoilage on the LSU Tiger. That's a big deal. And these are supposed to be so prone to being washed out and cracking and spoiling and rotting. on the branches from the rain. Very susceptible. Look at this. I've got
Yeah,
many.
they usually split, don't they?
Yeah, well they can.
Yeah.
And they have a reputation for that. But I'm on high ground here in the back. This is high ground. But I've got. She's getting caught in the net, Deb. She's getting caught in there.
Goodness.
Okay. Okay, watch out now. You're gonna get.
Oh, my goodness. Are you still caught?
You're gonna get caught.
You're going to tear the whole net down here. Okay.
Okay.
Got out.
But I've got Mount Etna types, 13 or so, and some of them are really not faring well because even though they look good and I'm opening them up, they're a little sour inside,
Yeah.
and some of them are spoiling. A lot of them haven't, which I mentioned, but this one is perfect. Now here you go.
Right?
This is I once made a video, the most underrated fig in the world or something. I forget what the exact title was, but
Wait a minute. Don't
um,
oh, you're being really ornery today.
it is the most it is really truly underrated because it's very delicious and creamy, and in some countries it's a favorite, like in Israel. My friend Danny Yakir told me, and I read up on that. And Brunswick is a favorite because it's a very arid climate. So it's a perfect climate for figs that are prone to spoilage during wet periods and excessive rain.
You're not getting it.
Do well there.
Look at her.
What? You want some of this? Uh-oh, I see what you're saying here. Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness.
Deb, tear a little piece off that.
Yeah, let's
Off
see.
the end right there. Give it to Penny Pop. There we go. There we go. Here we
Is
go.
that too much?
Here, Mommy going to give it.
Is this too much?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, she
there-
likes that
oh,
one.
Wow, you like that one.
And it's
Yeah.
interesting that she likes that one so much.
The other day you tried
Now,
to
do you
give
want to taste this one?
No, thank
No. I'm going to taste this. I'm
you
telling
like
you, this is going to be golden delicious. I can tell you.
Okay, that's all you can have because you get bellyache. You get a bellyache, I'm sorry.
Oh, that is so good.
Well, she enjoyed it. Yeah, your favorite.
Wow, tear off
Is that
another
your
one.
favorite dish? No, I don't want to give her any more. She'll get
No?
a bellyache.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, he's tricking you with
just
that.
a little piece.
Teasing her with it. Let me see.
Just a little piece there. And here, take the end.
How about just this little piece?
There we go.
There you go.
I'll give you some more later. Mommy's afraid you're going to get sick. That was delicious. Sure, you don't want...
Such a sensitive stomach, yeah. Okay,
No?
that's all we got. We have to go now. Come on. You have to say goodbye-bye. Say bye-bye. Come on, we got to go. Okay.
I wish I had 100 of those right now.
Yeah?
That's how good that is.
Well, that's
After
surprising
all
after
this rain.
Yeah.
I am really impressed. Here's a couple tigers that I picked.
You can't have
I just picked them over here before I decided to go in and get the camera.
Okay. No.
Gotta be careful because if she finds these figures here on the ground that I put
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah, I wouldn't leave them.
sure eat them all up.
Yeah. I wouldn't leave them on
There's
the ground.
there's a LSU Tiger,
Wow.
and you want to tear one open? Go ahead, Deb. Tear one open for them. Look
That's
at
a-
that.
that's
It's
a tiger?
perfect. Yeah, LSU Tiger right there. You can always tell by the heart-shaped leaves, the single lobe leaves. But there's a lot of them that are ripe in there. You see them in there?
Okay, move away.
I don't know what can be seen and what can't be seen. There's another real ripe one back there. Can you see it? Wow. There's a bunch of them.
Okay, there you go.
This is... You want to try this?
No, not right now. I'll eat them in the house. I have to go. I'm really getting late. Okay, get away from there. Move away from there. What is this?
This is a delicious
Okay,
fig,
get
Deb.
away from here. What is that?
Okay.
What are these seeds here? That's weird.
A real moment in the lives of
Okay, I'm going to have to pick her up.
Lou and Debbie, Monty, and
Oh, come here.
Popsy.
Who's being
Penny
ornery
Pop-Pop.
today? Somebody's being
Okay,
ornery.
I'm going to wrap this up, Deb. Man, they're good. I wish I had some more Hollier, but it's okay. I like to have a challenge. I like to have things to look forward to. It takes a long time
Oh,
to achieve all of your goals in a hobby like figs. They take a long time to grow. It's taken a lifetime to accumulate information and to exclude certain varieties from the collection, to reject them, call them out, concentrate on those that are successful in your climatic zone. Year to year differences in performance confuse you sometimes. It takes time. It just takes time. But in the end, an image, a clarity emerges, a consciousness of exactly where you are and what you've achieved and what you've accepted and what isn't acceptable any longer. And you know where to focus and concentrate your efforts. And I can tell you that I'm looking forward to the challenge of Hollier now. I'm going to focus my attentions to that cultivar. I'm going to grow it out in the open, in the sun, where it's not competing with all the other fig varieties around it. It's surrounded. I'm convinced, I was convinced even when I had it in a pot, that it was a great fig variety, and I recommended it back then. I always enjoyed Hollier. So, I am extremely enthusiastic about getting it in the ground in various sunny locations, and to get it to the point where, like my other varieties, it's producing a great abundance of figs out in the open, because I am so impressed with the flavor of that in a class of its own, in an entirely different category of taste. It would be labeled as a honey fig, which I just think is such an injustice. It's just a horrible injustice. It truly is. Because not all honey figs are equal. Not all berry figs are equal. Not all sugar, so-called sugar, or berry or honey berry figs. You know, all these categories that I really don't pay much attention to. I always say a fig is a fig is a fig is a fig, and there's so many of them, and they're all figs, and they're all wonderful. And I haven't ever eaten a ripe fig that was in good condition that I disliked or hated. I've always enjoyed every ripe fig. Ripe figs are delicious, and most every fig I've ever eaten has been delicious when they're perfectly ripe, when they're picked at that perfect time, and with the perfect weather conditions. And I appreciate that. But are they all equal? Of course not. There's so many. There's so many that are different, so different. Hundreds of varieties, truly. But only a few, especially when you live in restricted areas like me, that are really suitable for the area that I live in. And I've learned to weed them out and to find the ones that thrive, and to put an emphasis and an asterisk around those, and to have a great abundance of them, which I do have a great abundance of them in several locations. I'm always, always, always excited when I find a new addition to my collection that is going to thrive, that's winter. This is out here right in the field. This field is huge. And when the corn's all harvested, and this is a flat field again, it's all open, and it goes way, way, way back, and the northwest winds come right from there. It's as cold here as any place in my entire yard. Probably this is the coldest place. No, I won't say probably. It absolutely, I can confirm, it absolutely is the coldest place in my yard. It has no protection whatsoever out here. Not from wind chill, not from ambient cold. It's just out here exposed, getting whipped around by the winter winds, and it survived years. And it's growing, it's thriving, this Hollier, and with the others that have been suitable, because the unsuitable ones are gone, long gone. And there were quite a few this time around. And I've done this over and over again through the years. And so I'm going to add this one. I'm going to put it in some sweet spots too, some warm spots. So I know, I can guarantee that I'm going to get satisfactory results. Excited about it. I wanted to share it with you and the Brunswick. So, thanks for visiting. I'm enjoying this lovely day. I hope that you're enjoying this lovely day. I think it's Wednesday, and the 21st of August. I picked some tomatoes earlier too, and Debbie and I are going to make olive oil and tomatoes and onions and parsley in the Italian way, and little salt and all the different spices that we put on them, some pepper, and we're going to have tomato sandwiches on toasted bread later, on multi-grain toasted bread. And it's good natural bread, very low in sugar, just one gram of sugar per slice. I wish there was none, but it's impossible to find. And we will have some delicious tomato sandwiches with maybe a thin slice of a healthy cheese, not a processed cheese, and maybe not. I'm not sure. Thank you for joining me today. I always enjoy and appreciate your visits. Thank you for your subscriptions. I hope you enjoy our chats. I certainly do. I certainly enjoy the camaraderie. Hi to all my fixer friends out there. Stay with this hobby. It's the most wonderful hobby. It's one of the most beautiful hobbies I've ever had. I was a boater for decades and decades. I don't know, over 40 years. And I had a pretty large boat. And Debbie was quite the mate. I'll tell you, I have my captain's license. I've got a lot of licenses, believe it or not. All kinds of licenses, including a ham radio license. But Debbie and I used to go out and fish the wrecks, the sunken ships off the coast of Virginia. And we did this way back when very few people did it on our island. And later people joined us and we showed them how to do that, to fish the wrecks. And I got involved with the artificial reef program, and it was through my efforts to always try to give back to nature. It was through my efforts, the truth of the matter actually is, that I contacted the head of the artificial reef program for Virginia, and we did not, our little town, our little island did not have a reef, so I saw to it that we ended up 3 years later, we had a reef. And we were there when they were dumping from the huge barge, the armored personnel vehicles that were the first lot. Later on came cleaned up railroad cars, and so now we have a significant reef out there. But it was a hobby, a wonderful hobby that I still enjoy fishing, but now I'm more domesticated. I don't have a boat anymore, getting older. I do a lot of fishing, but not from a boat. And I enjoyed that hobby, and I have enjoyed other hobbies, and I won't go into them. I once was a teacher in Alaska. I was a hunter, no longer. I had a lot of hobbies in my lifetime. Nature has always been a grand hobby of mine. I love reading about and experiencing nature and the weather. And Debbie and I are very well traveled. We traveled tremendously. Great deal when we were young. But of all the hobbies that I've had, I'll tell you, I've always loved figs. I've always had a fascination with figs, always since I was a child. And I always will into my dying day. I have no doubt that I will always be fascinated with figs. And so don't be discouraged, any of you newbies out there. Sometimes it's quite a lot of information that I know that you have to acquire or absorb, and it's not easy. It's difficult sorting your way through all of the information. and trying to locate reliable sources of information and locate reliable sources of cuttings and fig cultivars, etc., etc. I get it. But hang in there. I encourage you to do so. And I promise you that you will be rewarded, as I have been, and Debbie, with years and years and years and years of successful fig harvests. And you will be so thrilled that you stuck it out, that you hung in there. Oh, I see some more Hollier back there. Look at that. See those back there? Oh, there's one getting ripe on the bottom. I see that back there. There's more in there too. But you will be rewarded, as I have been, and we have been, and pleased, so pleased that you endured and you persevered and you succeeded in making figs as big a part of your life and a hobby as I have. I would never, ever, ever, ever have traded it for anything in the world. I've just enjoyed it so much. Debbie and I just made quite a few jars of preserves yesterday, and we were able to distribute them to our family and friends and put some away for ourselves. And it was of such beautiful quality. I should have made a video. I have before. I have a video posted about that. Maybe I'll flash them one day because they're so pretty. The color is so magnificent. But anyway, thank you for the visit. I'm going to now shut this camera down, and I am going to just stand out here in complete amazement, astonishment, and awe at the beauty, feel the weather and the breeze, and just marvel at so many splendid things that there are to marvel about and admire and cherish that we often take for granted, don't we? One last observation for those of you that stuck it out all this time. This was supposed to be a short video. Debbie needs to go somewhere, and I was going to take her. So she's going to probably hit me over the head with a baseball bat. Well deserving when I get in from this. But there's so much to talk about, and I enjoy it so. But I just wanted to, this one last point. I mentioned to you about the San Pedro type figs, and we talked about Desert King, and we talked about this particular fig, which is very much like Desert King. It's called Feliciano Bianco. And I mentioned that unlike Desert King, and I can't go into this in a long dissertation, but unlike Desert King, some of the main crop figs on this San Pedro type, and I don't have time to redirect everything that we've talked about in the past regarding San Pedro type figs. But those of you that have watched my videos, you know what I'm talking about. And I promise to maybe for the newbies to clarify it again in the future. But I differentiated Feliciano Bianco, which is one of my favorite figs because it's so vigorous. Look, it's higher than all the other figs, and it's no older. Look how vigorous it is. Look how and all of the Breba were gone long ago. By the 4th of July or a few days later, because San Pedros make a very, very large Breba crop, and their main crop fig without caprification drops off. It needs to be pollinated. But this is an odd one, the Feliciano Bianco, because some of the main crop figs do get ripe. And so I just wanted to point this one last thing out. Look, they're getting ripe. Feliciano Bianco. They're actually swelling up. I don't know if I can find a ripe one. This one seems like it's ripe enough for me to just demonstrate for you. This is the main crop fig. You can see I picked it from the node. The Breva have been gone for a month or more. And I'll open this up for you. This is the first time I ever really filmed or bothered to film Feliciano Bianco. You see, it's very different than the main crop fig. It's yellowish, not green. It's very small by comparison. It doesn't taste. The other fig is, the Breva has a pinkish reddish flesh. This one has an amber flesh. I mentioned that this is fair to poor. Sometimes in the best of seasons it's fair. With all the rain that we've had, I'm surprised that these look pretty good, but I am on high ground here, and I preached that 1,000 times. Let me just taste this. This was not as ripe as it could have been. Yeah, you know, it's only fair, but not horrible. I mean, if I didn't have anything else, I would eat a bunch of these, but it's not a great fig. Here's another one. Let's put this one down here. Here's another one right here. Now, this one's more further along. And I see more in there. So now you've seen everything that there really is to know about what the differences are between Desert King and Feliciano Bianco. This has been in the family for more than 60 years. My uncle's fig from Italy. And I've kept it alive. My cousins still have a few of these in their yard. Yeah, that's another one. I'm going to pick it. Let's break into this one. And you can see that this one's riper than the other. It's actually glistening. Let's get out there in the sun a little. Feliciano Bianco. An old companion of mine, a friend. And I am certainly endeared to it. I have a lot of sentimental memories about this fig. It was first introduced to me by my Uncle Mario, whom I loved enormously. A great, great figster and an incredible gardener. He had the growing instincts, all of them, that I grew up with, and my father and my grandfather shared with him. My uncles, they were all farmers, or when I say farmers, they were all gardeners. Although my grandfather was a farmer. He actually was a farmer too. He used to rent ground and grow things on, and had a vegetable and produce stand for years and years and years. He was famous for that. He was sharp. I'm named after him. And I loved him so. I never I never realized what a great man he was, and I mean I did, but not as much as after he died, and I missed him. And then So, okay, I'm all done now. All finished. There's some beautiful LSU Tiger. Just to get a scale on them, look how big they are. Aren't they big? Big and beautiful. And tasty. Here's some more. Let me bite into this one. Isn't this fun? That is sublime. Superb. That was so good. If I tasted this Feliciano Bianco compared to that now, yeah, not good. Bland, not sweet, very little flavor. I don't recommend that you ever purchase a Feliciano Bianco with the idea that maybe you will be able to harvest some truly usable or remarkable in any way, main crop figs, I wouldn't recommend that at all. Because but the Breba, you saw the Breba. I've made movies, videos. I posted one this year. You can find it, and it's well worth growing just for the Breba. Truly, it's a very, 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 very respectably productive and fruitful tree, hardy, winter hardy, like just almost like no other. It's right up there with Celeste and Brunswick. Disease-free, a vigorous grower, but it produces a tremendous density of fruit. There's just very little that you just can't like about it. Okay, I'm gonna take another bite of this one. Look at that. So sweet. Now, Debbie said she doesn't like the thick skin, but I love the thick skin. I dropped a piece. Now I'm going to eat that too. Do I love my figs? And that LSU Tiger, I'll tell you what, I'm impressed this year. That thick skin protected it from the rain. Look, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's like leather because then you might get the wrong idea. It's sweet, it's chewable, and it's edible, and I love it because it's a variation. It's different, But in this situation, it protected the fig. It protected it from the excessive rains and did not split. That is a commendable quality that we need to focus on, big time. This is a good, this LSU Tiger is a wonderful. If you can see it, I shouldn't have to say anything about it. Just look, and you've seen the other videos that I made in the other location in the front orchard. Tear this open again. Here we go. Look at that. LSU Tiger. Highly recommended. Hollier. Highly recommended. Pastelieri, or Pastelier. I made videos this year. So far, so good. This year they dropped off. Last year they didn't when I made the video, when it was still in a pot. This year I transplanted it a little late and all of the figs dropped off, which it has a reputation for doing. So it remains to be seen. Only time will tell, and I will certainly rank it every year for you. But knowing my friends that I trust and the source where I received the original tree from, it's one of his favorites in his collection, and he has a lot of varieties in the ground. And he's in Maryland, which is in the same zone that I am. He says it's very hardy, and he spoke very highly of it, so I accepted the gift. He gifted it to me, and because I had so much respect for him and his opinions, which are always honest and objective regarding figs to the best of his ability and knowledge, I did something I don't like doing. I don't like taking on new varieties without doing a thorough research and really trusting the source. And in this case, I did. So that's another one that I'm excited about. Well, I've talked about all of the figs, a lot of figs. But again, my main point was whenever I get a truly new variety that I can expect good results from in my zone, it's truly exciting to me. I love the idea of it, and so I slowly am adding them on, and I have slowly removed them from my collection, and I hope that's been useful to you. Good day.